3 years ago, my brother-in-law and I decided to go out on a limb and buy our first bows. We had no idea what we were doing, and neither of us had really even hunted before, but figured it was something we wanted to give a try. Fast forward to now, we are completely absorbed in it and spend most of our free time getting ready for archery season. We had planned to hunt some public ground in Wisconsin our first year when a neighbor offered to let us hunt his 50-acre property just a couple minutes down the road. We scouted it the day we got permission, which was 1 week before the season opener, and it has since become one of my favorite places on earth. The property is almost completely wooded, but it's surrounded by agriculture and has a few terrain features that help to funnel deer movement. We've been recording deer sightings and watching trail cameras over the last 3 years, trying to figure out the best places to set up. This year, we're setting up stands in these 5 new locations and tweaking our setups in these 3 spots here. First new stand we're setting up is at this light blue marker here. To set this new location up, we're grabbing a ladder stand from a spot that Rob sat last year. This spot has been pretty good to us. It's actually where I shot my first buck ever, and the summer deer movement was pretty good. But once the season started, it dried up fast and we didn't see much more until the rut, which is when this big boy came in. He's the first deer that I ever actually tried to purposely hunt. The first morning he was in there, I saw him from a ladder stand that was about 250 yards from these trail cam videos. And later that day I was able to sneak into his bedding area and got within 150 yards of him, but he never closed the distance. This is a trail cam video of him getting spooked earlier in the year. And check out this black coyote. The spot we're moving this ladder stand to is just on the outside of what we believe is a buck bedding area. We scouted it back in March and found tons of rubs and trails going every which way, which told us it might be a good spot to set up in. We found that bucks like to take the less traveled trail up the hill here, and does and fawns will take the more heavily traveled trail downhill to the right. This stand is set up so Rob has a shot at both of them.
That's pretty good, man. We got done clearing all the logs off all the trails last weekend. And then this one fell on the corridor to 3 different tree stands that we have.
Next, we're setting up a new spot at this dark blue marker here. The spot we're moving it from saw some of the most consistent deer activity, but there just wasn't a good spot to set up in on that camera. We set up a few trail cameras a little further into cover and found another spot that most of these bucks were actually traveling in, so hopefully that translates to fall movement as well. Next spot we're working on is at this yellow marker here, and Rob and I have decided that this is the X of the property. Most deer trails that go through this property seem to hit this location. To set up, we first need to grab a hang-on from the field we were just talking about. The fourth spot we're working on is at this red marker here, and this is basically so Rob can hunt the X of the property as well. The location we're grabbing this stand from saw a lot of consistent deer movement, but it was just too deep into their bedding area to effectively hunt. This also seems to be a spot that bucks like to go lock down does. Did manage to sneak in there early season once and have a 10-point bedded on me for 5 hours, but ended up shooting low and missing him at 20 yards. We're setting Rob up in a spot where he has a few shots at trails leading to the X, but not somewhere that we're in each other's ways. We did set up a camera here late last year and found a couple good bucks on it as well. Spot number 5 and the final new spot we're working on is at this purple marker here, and we're grabbing a stand from the first tree that I ever set up in. There's a ton of trails that intersect at this location, but the tree is just too close to them, and I've got a little bit better of a spot about 100 yards up the ridge. The spot we're moving this stand to is actually a part of the property we've never set up in before, but after seeing some pretty big deer, finding a large deadhead, and hanging up a trail camera and watching deer in there all summer, I decided it was something I wanted to give a try. After setting up all those new stands, the only thing left for us to do was some maintenance.
What's your opinion on these bows?
I'm not the biggest fan of them.
They look
If it
like
were up to me, I would rather not have them on me.
they look like they're a pretty big fan.
They like me.
The stand I'm climbing up into now is an easy to access stand at this pink marker here. I had a few good encounters at it last season and wanted to rake a trail to make it easier for me to get in and out of.
Mock scrape. Prop set up.
There's only 2 stand locations we didn't mess with, and one of them's at this brown marker here. This is the spot that's about 100 yards from the first tree I ever set up in, and it's also at the spot where I shot my buck during a giant snowstorm last year. And the final stand location on this map is Rob's ladder stand at this green marker here. It's actually the first spot that Rob had ever set up in, and he has shot every single one of his deer out of this location. And so there you have it. That's the rundown of our property and where we're setting up for this 2026 season. We've seen some good deer, we're optimistic for the season, and we cannot wait to get back in the woods.